Hello, boys and girls. I hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to talk about weather and climate. We're going to focus on the 4 seasons, which are winter, spring, summer, and fall. We are also going to look at text features, and I'm going to have you follow along with sections, and then after the sections I'm going to have you pause and think about what you read. And then at the end we are going to fill out a note-taking organizer. This is the article we are going to focus on. If you look at the top, the title, Weather and Climate, the Seasons, is what this article is about. You can look at the title and think to yourself, what do I already know about this topic? The picture below has a caption that tells you about the picture. It says, Summer brings wildflowers to Mount Rainier National Park in Washington State, yet the mountain stays cold and snowy on top. That caption tells you about that picture. Our first heading, Autumn. All the information underneath that heading talks about autumn or fall. There is also a picture up here with leaves changing color, which represents fall. The next heading is winter. All the information below winter will talk about winter. This picture as well represents a winter scene. The next heading is spring. All the information underneath that heading will talk about spring. And then there's a picture of a hedgehog. This last section is about summer. All this information will be about summer. The picture shows kids and adults playing with bubbles during the summer. The first section I'm going to read about begins here. Think about what this section is about. After I'm done reading this section, you're going to pause and think about it. The 4 seasons are winter, spring, summer, and autumn or fall. These parts of the year make a cycle. That means they happen in the same order every year. This is why the weather changes in predictable ways. The seasons are not the same everywhere. At the top and bottom of the earth are the poles, where it stays cold all year. If you think about the globe we have in our classroom, the top of the globe and the bottom of the globe are areas that stay cold all year long. Halfway between the poles is the equator, where it stays warm all year. The equator is an imaginary line around the Earth's middle. The seasons change the most between the equator and the poles. So pause the video, think to yourself, what did I just read? The next section we're going to read is about autumn. Autumn or fall is after summer and before winter. It gets cooler during this season. Autumn begins on a day when the night is just as long as the day. This happens in mid-September above the equator and in mid-March below it. In autumn, leaves change color. They fall from the tree. Animals grow thicker coats or store food for winter. Some birds fly to warmer places. They will not return until spring. People gather crops in autumn. All around the world there are fall festivals. These events celebrate the harvest. The people give thanks for what they have grown. Pause the video. Think about what you just read and what you just learned about from this section, Autumn. The next section, Winter. Winter is after autumn and before spring. It is the coldest season. The weather can be rainy and snowy too. Winter begins on the day with the shortest day and the longest night. This happens in mid-December, above the equator, and in mid-June below it. In winter, some animals sleep. They hibernate until spring. Some plants stop growing. Other plants die, leaving their seeds behind. These seeds wait for spring. They will grow when the weather warms up again. Many people like winter. They get to ski, ice skate, and sled. Other people feel sad during this season, though. There is not a lot of sunlight in winter. This can make people feel gloomy. For hundreds of years, winter celebrations have helped cheer people up. For example, long ago, the Romans used to have a 7-day party. It was called Saturnalia. During this party, people stopped work, gave gifts, and were merry. Christmas, Hanukkah, and the Chinese New Year are popular winter holidays today. People celebrate them in similar ways. Okay, boys and girls, pause the video. Think about what you just learned about weather. The next section, spring. Spring is the season between winter and summer. It begins on another day when the night is just as long as the day. This happens in mid-March above the equator and in mid-September below it. In spring, the weather gets warmer. Plants begin to grow again. Animals make nests and have babies. Many celebrate these changes with spring festivals. Nowruz is one example. This festival marks the waking up of nature. The country of Iran celebrates Nowruz. Okay, boys and girls, please pause the video and think about what you just learned about spring. The last section, summer. Summer comes after spring and before autumn. It is the warmest season. Summer begins on the day with the longest day and shortest night. This is in mid-June above the equator and in mid-December below it. Plants grow the most in summer. The days are long and warm. It is a good season to celebrate. All summer long, people get together to have fun. Now, boys and girls, pause the video. Think about what you just learned about summer. The next activity we are going to talk about the question at the top. How are people and animals affected by the changes of each season? I am going to go back to the text. Oops. And I'm going to find autumn. And you can see that autumn, it talks about how animals grow thicker coats. So I am thinking to myself, okay, animals grow thicker coats. So I'm going to go back to my organizer and I'm going to type in the fall, animals grow thicker coats. That's how animals are affected by the changes of the season. So now I'm going to think of a question that goes along with the note that I found from the text. Do some animals grow more fur because winter is coming and it will keep them warm? Okay. So that's my thinking about the information I pulled from the text. Now I'm going to go back to the text and I'm going to look at winter. And it says that people feel sad during the season, though. There's not a lot of sunlight in winter. Okay? So people feeling sad. That's something I think I would like to write down in my notes. In winter, people feel sad. Okay, that's an effect that matches the question up here. How are people and animals affected by the changes of each season? Well, people are affected by the changes that occur during winter. They feel sad. So my thinking about this is Do people feel sad because it's too cold outside and they can't do a lot of activities? Maybe they feel cooped up. Okay. So, boys and girls, your assignment is going to be similar to what I just modeled. I selected a note from fall and winter, and I wrote my thinking about the information I got from the article. What your assignment's going to be, you are going to find something from spring and write a note that you get from the spring section of the article and write your thinking. And then you're going to write something for summer. You're going to get something from the section of the article from summer, and you're going to write your thinking. Your exit slip is going to look like this. It's going to look exactly like the one I used when I modeled my notes and questions. This exit slip will appear underneath this video in Google Classroom. What you need to do, you need to type right on this organizer that is in Google Classroom. Then you will go to the top right corner and you will find the box in the top right corner that says Turn In. After you click on the Turn In button in the top right corner, another screen will appear and it will ask you to turn it in again. You will turn it in again and then it will be submitted. If you have any questions, boys and girls, please ask your teacher. I hope you are doing well, and I want you to have a wonderful day. Thank you, boys and girls.